What's up, guys? So this is another video that goes over my play of the day. For me, this would be MDB. So let's take a look at the daily level. So typically for stocks that have gapped up like this, um, I would be bearish. There's no resistance below this, and also look at the range for 120 to 132. It's sitting at the upper limit of that range. So chances of it trying to come back down is pretty high. So the other longer time frames chart that I would look at would then be the 15-minute chart. So here, if you look at the 16 o'clock military time, it gapped up overnight, continued to move up, but then after it hit the previous 5 minutes there, long wick down. I was a bit bearish on this, and if you corroborate that with what you see on the 5 minute, which is what's going on in the background, you see that this is a bearish stock. So here on 5 minute, it couldn't really hit any highs, and then it formed like two, and this is the third consecutive down candle. And if you look at the level 2, the spread is pretty big, anywhere between 10 to 30 cents. So I take very small size, not only because the stock is expensive, but because of the spread. Just by entering the stock, you actually lose money already. So I'm very conscientious of those types of decisions. So if we look at the 1 minute where I entered, the EMA is about to cross the SMA, so I took that short. It did go up. I didn't really exit once it passed my stop loss. Looking back, I probably should have, but for me, the way I played stocks with the big spreads is just use limit orders and small sizes. So it did go up, but then later on I added to my position, but I saw that it did not continue to make new highs. I sort of got stopped at that level. And then it started to trend down. So when that happened, I added to my position another 200 shares. And then ultimately, as you can see, taking a peek into the future, is the stock did start to drop. The EMAs, both the EMAs crossed the SMA. And I was able to continue to set more cover orders and start to cover on the way down. So if you look at the chart, the live chart again, don't let these small graphics fool you. The spread is actually pretty big, and if you think about it, right, the high right here just in this last like 30 minutes, high is 133. The low right now is probably at 130 something, so that's like a 2.5 point spread. So it's, even if you have 100 shares, it's 250 bucks or so. So it's very, very important to understand what you're risking and what the spreads are and so forth. So we're going to skip ahead because it would take too long to just show the whole video. What ultimately happened is the stock continued to move down. I set my limit orders, and so I covered 200 shares already with 150. I guess like $242 or whatnot, still on the go. As you can see, it's lots of selling pressure. So I've been trying to fill this limit order. Finally, I filled it. I was just waiting on the last 100 shares or so to sell. All right, I think that about covers it. No pun intended.